Oh, I couldn't find mine like that. Tammy used to holler at me, but sometimes it comes in handy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rick Robinson.
Here.
John Clark.
Here.
Amanda Hunter. Here. Nancy Conley here. Joan David. Here. All present and accounted for. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll support it.
So you making the motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Motion by Clark, supported by Robertson to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried 5-0. Budget hearing. Do you want to start it off, Amanda?
I mean, I can if you'd like to read it. I mean,
Well, I can do it. Okay. Proposed fiscal year 2024-2025 property taxes, 90,000. Property taxes other, 500. Penalty state reimbursement taxes, 500. Building inspection permits, 30,000. Zoning permits, 700. Land splits, 300. State shared revenue, 190,000. Sales lots, that's supposed to be cemetery. I have no idea what that word is. 1,000. Burial fees received, 6,000. Cemetery additional fees, 1,000. Interest earned, 12,000. Refunds, rebates, reimbursement, 5,000. Marijuana permit fee, 295,000, with a total of 632,000. Our total adopted revenue is township board, 50,000. Township supervisor, 25,000. Elections, 25,000. Fire coverage, 8,000. Assessor, 28,000. Township clerk, 28,000. Board of review, 2,000. Township treasurer, 28,000. Township hall and grounds, 10,000. Cemetery, 40,000. Zoning administrator, 23,000. Building inspection department, 30,000. Planning commission, 8,000. Zoning board of appeals, 250. Road improvements, 200,000. Street lighting, 2,000. Unallocated budget amount, 93,550. Resident services, 5,000. Parks and recreation department, 2,500. Insurance bonds, 8,000. Recycling, 10,000. Marijuana enforcer, 6,000, for a total adopted expense of 632,000. Also adjustments to wages and salaries for board of review from $50 to $75. Foundations for headstones, it will go from 20 cents to 25 cents per square inch, 20 cents to the Saxton, 5 cents to township per square inch. Zoning administrator, mileage to and from court and $18 an hour while in court.
I do have one question on this. I know it's the budget hearing, so everybody else will get a chance to speak on it, but according to our February 6th minutes, it said that it was 25 cents per inch with 15 cents going to Dennis and 10 cents going to the township,
I'll have to,
according to the meeting minutes.
okay, I had it written down different on my paper.
I just found that out this
You
afternoon.
just lost a nickel an inch, but
Actually, I'm saving them money by doing it myself and not driving where I'm ski and taking over.
right.
This is fine.
What's that?
This is,
Well, we don't have to do anything right now. We'll do anything when we get to the
Okay.
motion, but it's just, that was one thing I wanted to bring up, so.
Right.
Now it's time for public comments on that.
Do I have any public comments on our budget hearing? No. Approval of the minutes for our February meeting. Do I have a motion to approve them?
Move to approve the minutes as presented to the February 20th meeting.
Okay, motion by Robertson,
I'll support it.
supported by Clark to approve the February 2024 minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Carried 5-0. Public comments on action items only. We need to do a budget amendment.
this is the time of year where we end up doing the budget amendments. But actually, I told Joan today that we actually did really well this year on the budgeting, because usually the amendments start, when we try to start stretching the budget in mid-fall, and actually we've done really good. We need to amend the budget, $5,517.36, from unallocated, $4,208.32 for the township board, and $1,309.04 for the treasurer line, so that, comes up with 55,1736 from the unallocated. I make that motion.
Okay, I'll support that. Motion by Conley, supported by David to do a budget amendment of $5,517.36 to go to the board and treasurer lines as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried 5-0. Treasurer's report.
All right, so the treasurer's report this month, there's a few kind of funky things on here that don't normally happen. So total cash available for the month ending 2/29/2024 was $659,718 and 0 cents. General fund money market, we had our DNR payment in lieu of taxes payment come in from the state. For some reason, it automatically gets deposited into our general fund money market every year. So I have to do that. It comes in, but it goes out because it goes to the treasury accounts. So you see on there that that's in, but it's also taken right back out. We paid bills of $17,006.03 out of the general fund money market account last month, for a total ending balance of $280,071.07. The general fund checking, we had an issue with the bank, and I've noticed a couple more since then, so we're gonna have to figure something out with, I'm gonna have to figure something out with the bank. But since the bank has gone paperless, they no longer require the deposit slip. stuff has been getting deposited into the wrong accounts.
Like our,
Yeah,
within
so
our
like-
system?
Yes,
Okay.
so it's all within ours.
Yeah.
But it's just some of it's going into treasury that's supposed to go into general money market. Some of it's going into money market or into our
Okay.
general fund that's supposed to go into treasury. So it's getting all straightened out, but you'll see on here that under the general fund checking, there is a line that says deposits. Should have been deposited into money market, like 850. That got deposited into the treasury account. So I've made that adjustment, but because this reflects my statements,
Right.
I didn't find that until after I was doing my balancing this month. And when I was going through it again today, I noticed another one that happened on 3/1, so that's not going to, that one will balance though, because I'll be able to do the in and out
Adjustment, yeah.
in the same month,
Are
so.
they, I mean, they're being cooperative, I'm sure, but have they got any solutions?
No, I haven't heard of any
Okay.
yet, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do there. But I just wanted to make you guys aware that that's why there are extra lines in there this month of the ins and the outs of this one got put into this fund, this one got put into this fund. But hopefully by the end of this month, we'll have it all figured out going forward.
Okay.
So we took in a total deposits last month of $62,703.17. In our treasury accounts, we have, at the end of the month, we had $365,486.27. We have still not completed settlement. I'm waiting for the county to get back with me. They changed their process this year. So it used to be we would fill out this whole entire worksheet
Right.
and send it to them. They said they're not doing the worksheet this year, they're doing it themselves. They just need our files, so they have our files. I'm waiting to hear back. I called them last Tuesday, they said they didn't think they'd have it done by the end of last week, so. I'm
So
hoping
we
we'll
really
send it
can't
out
do the fire check, which we normally do at
Correct.
the end of,
soon. We do it in
March.
March, because then it hits ours in March, but
Right.
it doesn't hit theirs till
and it's the
April.
delinquent for the fire department, so, we weren't able to do that because they haven't completed, so we'll probably
Correct.
write that check in April for the fire department, but backdate it to
Mhm.
March, so it's in. there.
Correct,
Okay.
yep. Any questions on any of that?
Okay.
Next is correspondence.
I have a couple things. I don't know, oh, Mike is here. Do you want to say something at some point, Mike, or should we? Okay, I'll let you do that the open house for them, guess that's all I had, 'cause I picked that up at your meeting Monday night.
Okay, I have a thing, they're having a planning and zoning board training classes.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, May 16th, from 6:30 to 8:30 at the county annex building on Griswold and Hart. Hoping that maybe Steve and Michael or any other planning commission members could go. The contracted costs for the programs was $361, but that has been signed off and you can go to it for free. I think Brittany Bostrom was gonna set up a
She's the
sign-up
contact-
sheet.
Yeah, she's the contact person. I
So,
sent it to Steve, Rick, Rick, you might not got it if your email's not working. I can copy it for you. And I sent it to Michael, hoping that he would send it to the rest of the planning commission.
so we'll have to find out if people can go to this and get it signed up.
Can I just give you that?
Oh,
I'm with the planning commission.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Oh,
So if, I'll get with Michael and see, and then Steve, if you can look at your calendar to see if that's a possibility, that would be great. Yeah, do you have any?
The only thing that I have that you guys didn't mention was the information from the road commission showing what we've done for the past few years, which I thought was kind of cool and interesting to see.
Yeah, I appreciate
And
them
it
doing
sounds
that.
like that was compiled by Sandy,
Mm-hmm.
and she's retiring, right? Sandy from the road commission? I don't know when. Does she have a date?
She is retired.
She's retired now. Okay, okay. I just happened to see a flash on the Oceana thing on my phone. But she compiled that thinking that would be helpful to us to see what, you know, we've used over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If no other correspondence, we'll go on to old business. Hazardous waste donations.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we donate $100,
How much?
$100 to the hazardous waste collection.
I'll support that. That's what we did last year, right?
Yeah,
Okay, motion by Conley, supported by Clark to give $100 towards the hazardous waste program to
Right.
offset our residents that use it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried 5-0. Next is our ORV ordinance. We hadn't voted on that before because we needed in writing stating that we didn't have to have a public hearing for that, which we have that. So it's just a matter now of voting on it. This is one of the ordinances that we worked on those 4 or 5 hours that one day. So I make a motion that we approve the ORV ordinance.
Support.
Okay, motion by David, supported by Robertson to approve the ORV ordinance. Can you do a roll call vote?
Yep.
Did
Rick
you say
Robertson?
motion or
Yes.
resolution?
Pardon?
Motion by resolution. So what would the resolution be? Would it be?
Zero 3 1924. By resolution, Rick Robertson?
Yes.
Yes. Nancy Conley, yes. John Clark,
No,
Amanda Hunter,
No.
Joan David,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay, next is new business, approval of the budget.
I think before we approve the budget, we should make motions for each individual of the wages and salaries, since those are included in the budget.
Do them individually
Yeah, I would.
by,
Just
Roll call?
just a roll call vote.
Yeah.
zoning administrator, $18 an hour while in court plus mileage.
Well, we need to
Are
make.
you making a motion?
I
Are
make a
you-
motion.
Okay, I'll support it. So a motion by Conley, supported by David to approve $18 an hour while in court and mileage for the zoning administrator.
Roll call vote. John Clark,
yes.
Rick Robertson,
Yes.
Nancy Conley, yes. Amanda Hunter,
Yes.
Joan David,
Yes.
motion carried.
I make a motion to increase the board of review wages from $50 for the first 4 hours to $75.
Support.
Okay,
And-
motion,
Sorry, can I get a clarification
Yeah.
with this as well? We had some issues with this, billing cycle. The,
Did you see what I copied from
Yes.
last year? Okay.
yes, and somehow I must have missed that, because I would have questioned that last year if I would have seen it. Can we add in this motion that the organizational meeting be $15 per hour. Because I just feel like for, $75 for less than an hour at an organizational meeting.
Well, I think when I first came on board, we were sending people for trainings and it was like a $50 stipend.
Mhm.
And then their mileage, and then so much after 4 hours. So I think this is where this all evolved from, but it has become a different interpretation. So,
Yeah, and I guess I'm just trying to clarify that interpretation, because I thought it was still $15 an hour for training. So if they were taking like a class, it'd be $15 an hour plus mileage. It wouldn't be,
Correct, which they will all have to do in February of next year,
yeah.
because it's now every other year instead of every year. So
and that
we
would
can
fall
add
under
to that $75 for the first 4 hours and 15 per hour after that. Organizational meeting would be $15 an hour.
That's what I would suggest.
Now, does that go for, usually your board of review is what, 6 hours? You have it twice.
Mhm.
They
In
get-
March,
Right, but they get 15 for every hour, right?
They get $75 for the first 4 hours, and then it's $15
and
an hour
then
after that.
the other clarification you need to make on that, is it 75 for the first 4 hours each day? Or is it just the first day? Because
Well, We
how
could
I
always-
would interpret this is for the first 4 hours per board of review session. So essentially, you've got your March board of review.
so we can put monthly sessions.
Yeah, so they don't get $75 plus, $15 for today, and then
each day,
$75 coming in tomorrow, and then.
right. That's what I
So,
interpret.
because in, what are the other ones, July and December, they're usually here for about 15, 20 minutes, right, is from what I understand it.
Well,
July's usually longer.
Oh, okay.
yeah, well, actually, a lot of times December is, but
But
now
that's all changing
we only,
this year,
it's all
too.
changing. So it's July, we only have to meet if there's actually something.
I think we still have to meet because they still have the opportunity to come in,
No,
right?
Barbie said that, and we only have to meet in July if she has something, which this July we do have something.
Okay,
But it's still only gonna be like 10 or 15 minutes.
exactly, and they're
Okay.
getting $75 for that, so I just feel like it's,
Okay. So it's not every day, it's the first day.
yes.
Okay.
And then any hours past that for that monthly board of
Right.
review will be
Okay.
$15 an hour.
Okay. John Clark,
Yes.
Amanda Hunter,
Yes.
Rick Robertson,
Yes.
Nancy Conley, yes. Joan David,
Yes,
motion carried.
With that, I would also like a little bit of clarification, because this, how I'm looking at it is this will take effect starting in our new fiscal year, which is 2 weeks away.
So for July board of review.
So, for July board of review, but since we just paid them the other way, I think we should adjust their pay to how it was submitted next month,
Okay,
because that's how it had been interpreted in the past, and we didn't understand that until
okay.
today, when we were.
So just the pay back to how we did it last year. So
Yes.
that'll be made up in the
So it'll
July.
be made up next month for those that just worked for the March one,
Okay,
if that makes sense.
okay, it does. Thank you.
And then going forward, we'll start with that. And then,
next is the Headstone Foundations. So everybody agrees that we decided to go to 25 cents a square inch.
yep,
Yeah.
But the difference is, in our notes, it was 15 cents to Saxton, 10 cents to Township, and I have 20 and 5 instead of 15 and 10.
So it's 15 and 10.
That's what's in your minutes.
yeah, that was what's in the minutes. I guess I don't care either way, I just wanted it brought up that it was in the minutes that we looked at 15 and 10,
Let's
so.
go and give him the 20 cents. I
Okay.
would say.
So you make a motion,
I'll make a motion that Dennis gets the 20 cents
and then the 5 cents goes to
and the
the
5 cents to
township,
the township.
and I'll support that.
Okay, motion by Clark, supported by Hunter to do the headstones at 25 cents a square inch, with 20 cents going to the Saxton and 5 cents going to the township.
I'd also like to add to the motion if possible that this takes effect as of today,
Takes effect what?
as of today, and not in the new fiscal year, because we have a bill that we're paying at the 20 cents.
Okay, as of 3/19.
Or I guess it should actually be March 1st, right?
Yes,
So yeah, as of March 1st, we're gonna
we're gonna
prorate it
retroactive.
back, yeah.
Okay. Everybody set on that?
Yeah.
Amanda Hunter,
Yes,
John Clark,
Yes,
Rick Robertson,
Yes.
Nancy, yes, Joan David,
Yes.
motion carried.
okay. That takes care of those, so now for the other one, I will make a motion to approve the 2024-2025 fiscal year budget as submitted.
Or,
Okay, motion by Hunter, supported by Robertson to approve the budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025. Roll call.
Rick Robertson,
yes.
Nancy Conley, yes. Amanda Hunter,
Yes,
John Clark,
yes,
Joan David,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, next, I was approached by the Girl Scouts. They now use the Oxbow Park instead of the Boy Scouts because we've only got one Boy Scout and they're combined with Fremont now. This Girl Scouts tried doing a couple of outings last year. The appliances that are in the building have been there for since 40-some years. They can't get the stove to work, the refrigerator. The Girl Scout leader has her husband load up a refrigerator and take it down prior to their events, and then takes it back home when they're done. She had asked about the township replacing the appliances. I did get some quotes. A 7.3 cubic foot refrigerator, which is double that size, I can get for $175, or we can get a small, full-size one that's 18 cubic feet for $548. A new stove, the least expensive I could find was $499, and then a microwave for $55. And then we could have somebody come and scrap out what's in there and replace it with something that works and is safer, that they can use.
What's that total?
Well, if we go with the smaller refrigerator, it's, let's see. $729.
And I also talked to her about, because they're gonna be doing activities down there in the summer, we've got an extra window conditioner, air conditioner that was here, is setting back there. We put it up for sale and nobody put a bid on it. And the only stipulation would be they'd have to take it out of the window and secure the window each time, but she said that would be appreciated also. So that's something we already have.
So with the smaller refrigerator, the stove and the microwave, it's $729. With the bigger refrigerator, stove and microwave is $1,102. Two of the items are at Walmart and one's at Lowe's.
And we would be able to use ARPA funds for that.
so are they the only ones that use this?
Yeah.
Is
Pretty
anybody else able to use it?
It's
Or
the
it's-
one building's mainly just for the scouts.
Scouts.
So the Boy Scouts, every once in a while, they have an activity down there that they come from Fremont in.
Do they have any funds or? Or
We've been,
I
they
don't-
used to pay the light bill and we've been paying the light bill
they
for,
don't.
no, we've been paying the light bill for probably
I think-
5 years.
I think this was set up many, many years ago, by Terry Heron and them, which is right there at his property and that, and so, when they did that, then it was geared mostly for the Boy Scouts and that, but back then you had 30 or 40 kids
Right.
in scouts, but
Other people can use the facilities as far as the outdoor facilities. Those are available to anybody in the township.
My biggest concern is just, like, we're spending township funds to only benefit the Girl Scouts.
Well, that's how it was set up, and originally the land was donated by Terry. And it was
But
for the Boy
was all
Scouts.
the stuff inside
I
donated
don't-
by him too?
I don't know, I know the building, I don't know all the particulars, because that was like 40 years ago.
Mhm.
But I know that was the idea, that it would be, the outdoor part would be open to the public, but the building itself was set up, and I don't know if that was in the grant that he got, I'm assuming they got a grant for it. So, that it was set up for the Boy Scouts, which was very active 40 years ago.
it was a grant. I mean, on the sign out there, it has all the different businesses and
That don't.
Fremont Foundation and them that
Yeah,
'Cause
donated to help.
that would be my other question, since it's for the Girl Scouts, like, don't get me wrong, I think it's great that we still have Girl Scouts troops and whatnot, but I think that the township using public funds to pay for something that only the Girl Scouts can use is,
That building was originally, the public could also use it.
oh, could it?
You had to do, they had, I think it was a percent, you go back and you meant you should have funded.
Okay,
When they
Because-
did that grant.
because like I say,
You go in
if,
there and you could rent it, I think it was just a deposit.
and if we did that, that would make more sense to me, like if we were
I didn't
renting it
know
out
that.
type
I
thing,
didn't-
that
I
would
didn't
make
realize
sense.
That's back when Bill Myers and all them did it.
okay.
But it just seems,
Okay.
you
We
know,
can table it until next
Yeah.
month and we'll look it
Yeah,
up.
and we can look into, I can pull the stuff, it's in the stuff from, who would have been the clerk, with Ed and Mrs. Hunt. We have that whole file from them, so I'll pull that file out and we'll look.
okay, just because, like I said, if it was public use, if somebody could, you know, actually rent the building for a bit, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or if anybody can, like you said, put a deposit down, so if they ruin something, then we have that deposit to pay it back, but then if they don't ruin something, we give that deposit back.
I'll
At
look-
least giving the public the ability to use it, that makes sense.
Okay, I'll look that up, I'll pull that out, because I ran across it when I was looking through one of the files that came from Ed and Evelyn's.
Okay, next is roads. I gave you 7 estimates. My hopes are, there's 5 of them, 3 of them are on for 3 different sections of 204th, and then Grant Road from 192nd to Loop, and Baker Road from Maple Island to 204th. I'd kind of like to put those ones on hold until next year. And the ones that I would like to see done are, if you want to go first to 164th Avenue, that road's very well traveled and it goes from M20 to Loop Road. Last year, when I asked for an estimate, they gave an estimate of $264,330. This year, because they have a grant that they'll piggyback this up to, and blacktop prices have gone down. The estimate is $197,953.80. Where's my paper? Which is a savings of $66,446.20. I was told that this amount that they are they have down as the township share is probably gonna be even less than that, which they usually do a 10% extra, just in case something comes up, but they don't foresee that. And we have 200,000 budgeted, which is for the road work and brining. But, what we would save on the 10% would cover the brining. Does anybody have any comments or questions about that before I go on to the next one?
Well, I got one. I don't, what's, whatever happened to, Zimmer Road? Did that get done? Remember last year they didn't do it? Gravel?
Yeah, there was a reason why they didn't do it, and they were supposed to, finish it up this year.
Are they gonna, or you don't know?
They said they were going to, but it would be less than what they had told us before.
I think it was, what, 170 some thousand, or wasn't it?
Oh, no.
Or wasn't it that much?
Oh, no.
It's just a
Maybe it
gravel
was,
upgrade.
maybe it was 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay.
And we don't have anything for Warren this year.
For what?
Warren Road this year, it looks like. We had it for last year. Was it?
Yep.
Yeah, and we don't have
We-
anything this year.
No, we're gonna have to do something with Warren and, Gale Road. So I'd like to have like a 3-year plan, and this year there's 2 big road projects I'd like to do. And then these 5 the following year, then the next year we can get, Warren and Gale Road done. And then,
So what
then-
would, oh, sorry.
then we would have just about everything done in the township. And then they would do
So
the,
what, you said the 164 was
Yeah.
the one you wanted to do. What would be the other one? 'Cause-
the 164th I'd like to do with our, budgeted road. The other one, they had given us an estimate last year to do Buchanan Road, which is 10,417 feet. $426,844. The new estimate is $325,125.90, which is a savings of $101,718.10. And that I would like to use, cannabis funds. And I just want to let people know that the Michigan Regulation and Taxation of Marijuana Act is distributing 35% of unexpended balances to the Michigan Transportation Fund to be used for the repair and maintenance of roads and bridges.
That's more statewide, not.
But they're using that for the cannabis money for roads. I had talked to a marijuana, lawyer, and they didn't see a problem with this. So if we use canvas money for Buchanan and, our, budgeted money for 164th, and that's 2, major roads that are in really bad need that could get done this year.
I just want to throw out there that the state is governed by different regulations than townships are, so they might be legally able to do that with their roads, but I still have read the legal opinion and still disagree that I think it's a very, very gray area. Our auditor thought it was a gray area. But
Well, I make motion that we, use our budgeted money to do 164th Avenue from M20 to Loop Road.
I'll support.
Okay, motion by David, supported by Robertson to do 164th Avenue. If you want to do roll call.
Rick Robertson,
Yes.
John Clark,
Yes.
Nancy Conley, yes. Amanda Hunter,
Yes.
Joan David.
Yes. And then I'll put the other ones, I will let them, the road commission know that we're gonna put the other ones on hold unless they can give us a really good deal that we still have budgeted money left. We still might be able to do one of these other roads, and as soon as we find that out, then we can go from there.
You gonna make a motion on this?
So- The next one is Buchanan. I can either make a motion on that, or if it's gonna make people feel better by me getting a letter or something, I can do that too.
I think we've gotten 2 letters, but they both say the exact same thing, that it's possible to get away with it, but if it's struck down in court, that's our fee to pay back, so. If you wanna make a motion, go for it.
Go for
I
it.
make a motion to, this year, pave Buchanan Road from 176th to 160th with cannabis funds.
Support.
Okay, motion by Conley, supported by Robertson to do Buchanan Road from 176th to 160th using cannabis funds.
Rick Robertson,
Yes.
John Clark,
No.
Nancy Conley, yes. Amanda Hunter,
Nope.
Joan David,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, next, this is council on municipal cannabis.
I think this, we talked about this before, and I think that we should enter into this rather than just as a zoning administrator or or the cannabis enforcer, to enter this application as, the board as a membership. Does that sound, I know we've talked about it.
And I just filled out their survey
Right,
recently.
right. So, because we do use the state, cannabis regulatory agency a lot, and, will also give us more input and,
What it does is it gives us access to, other municipalities
right,
that are dealing with these issues,
right,
what they're going through, how they dealt with different issues. It gives us access to, the case law, when case law exists, so that we can see what has happened in other court cases where there've been some. It's basically a clearinghouse of information. And it's also we'll probably have some conferences coming up and stuff like that, where people can get together and also have access to attorneys. It's just we're in this deep, we might as well get all the information we can. I'll also add that at the last teleconference that I was on last month, they have the state has issued a new municipal guide. So which is still kind of muddy, but it
Yeah, we
expands a
kinda-
lot of the definitions.
okay. And we'll be getting that,
Yeah, downloaded that, so.
oh, if you've already downloaded it, okay.
Can you forward that to all of us?
Okay. So,
Can you enter this as a board and not individuals? Is that even a possibility?
I don't know.
We can join as a township.
Okay,
There's a It's you can have an individual membership or an organizational membership.
Okay.
Or actually, if I remember right, there's both. So actually,
Well, there's a Municipal Cannabis Regulators Network and then the Cannabis Center for Membership Fee, and you can join them both. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, so that would, if we did the both, then Rick and I would be members as well as the township as a whole.
Okay.
And that would be my recommendation. So that both Rick and I, when we get
But-
stuff, have a resource.
So it looks like primary official for your township who is overseeing,
So that would be Rick.
yeah. Okay, but the others do qualify for, okay.
So joint membership would be $120, right? Am I correct? Am I looking at that?
Yes.
Yep.
That cover everything. And it'd be good for 1 year.
Right. I make a motion that, we do the dual joint membership for the NCRN and the Cannabis Center fee for $120 for 1 year, making Rick and Steve and the board in the membership. I think it'll be beneficial to us,
And we'll use cannabis funds for that.
yes.
I'll support.
Okay, motion by Conley, supported by Robertson, to join the National Council on Municipal Cannabis for $120 for 1 year.
Is this, an automatic renewal membership? Do we know? Is
We
this
can
something
check, I
that-
doubt it,
Or does it
but we
go
can
up
check.
to 300 like the following year?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is that what it's?
Well, we might
We
only
don't
want it for
know.
1 year.
We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes for the first year,
Yeah,
because I think there's a wealth of information we've been getting up from the
Yep, and they're,
CRA, and so,
they're wonderfully vague.
Yes,
As much as they can be.
okay, so the motion's been made and seconded, roll call vote, John Clark,
yes.
Rick Robertson,
Yes.
Nancy Conley, yes, Amanda Hunter,
Yes,
Joan David,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay, next we need a motion to approve bills as presented.
So move, Robertson.
We have one bill to be removed,
yes. It is number,
it's at top
15270,
1527043.
3216.
Okay, motion by Robertson, supported by David, to approve the bills with removal of check number 15270. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried 5-0. MTA report, we're meeting, elected officials have their next MTA meeting next Wednesday night in Levitt Township. It'll be at the Walkerville Wesleyan Church at 6 o'clock. Planning Commission, they didn't have a meeting, so I don't think there's anything on that. Rick, do you have anything?
Nothing, just that I just spoke with, a couple of the, workers at some of the plants. They've started their grow, so I will be starting this week,
Okay.
filling out reports on that, so.
Okay,
So that's it.
Thank you.
Are they getting ready to plant? I mean, they got the little ones?
Yeah, that's what they just started growing. The one, they just started 600. So I gotta go out now and make sure they're tagged and everything. So they're just starting to get their plants growing in the pots or little cups.
okay. All right, thank you. Cemetery dumps?
I just had the one, foundation for this month, I poured that myself, the 52 by 16. And previously, I'd have to drive clear on the street and go over it and pick it up at my time. And then, as soon as I get home, sure enough, there'd be another one in the mail, I drive back, so that's why I'm pouring my own. Helps me me out tremendously. So
Thank
thanks for what we met.
Okay, zoning?
And we did, things have picked up. We issued 5 permits last month. We've already issued 2 this month. As of last month, we had 3 new homes coming into the township. And we already did 1 new home, for this month. So I think that says a lot. I mean, the average home that's going in is about $350,000. So folks are spending money in the township. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, people are happy with how things are going. As of April 5th, we can start to enforce our blight ordinance. And
Still on, right?
it was in the paper and published, and so we will start getting after some folks who've been ignoring things.
And it's, yeah,
Yeah, and I expect we'll have at least 3 more new houses this year, in addition to the 4 that are already approved. So, probably the biggest stumbling block is just getting contractors. So the other good news, the field over here, the 16 acres, that was proposed for indoor grow, the person who was financing that, it seems, has decided he doesn't want to be in that business, and he's talking to us about doing housing development on that 16 acres.
wow.
So, I think that'd be really nice. We sent some information down to him. He's also gonna look at the village and talk to Al about the church property, about putting apartments in there. So, I think that's,
Good investment.
that'd be really nice. This will probably be higher end homes, and suggesting that it's because of the cost. Land cost is just so high enough where it's probably better to put a pond in the middle and a little bit
I
higher.
really talked about it, like a couple of duplexes too, or something, was that?
We talked about that, but you get into the problem being that your cost, now your construction costs are about a good $300 a square foot. So a modest house, let's say 1,000 square foot, you got 300,000 in construction costs. By the time you got $22,000 in lot costs, and then you add in, your well and septic and road and all that, you're gonna, basic starter home is gonna be 375 to 400,000. It probably makes more sense to go upscale, do less, and be in the 500,000 range, which is kind of being average now. I mean, if you look at the stuff that's for sale, there's an awful lot of stuff 450 and above. So,
I know this is in the village, but I'm aware of 2 properties being developed in the old rodeo grounds. And that is in the village, so that's Mike's territory, but it's still in our township, and
yes,
that has been, kind of at a standstill. And now
Not anymore.
So now that is taking off, so I'm sure it will, within another year or 2, that'll be.
I would expect, once, it's just like out there, once you get the first one sold
Right,
and things moving and people take a look and say, oh, well, that looks pretty nice. And I think it's the same thing at South Branch here, that,
yeah.
you get a couple new houses and the next person gets interested, so. Things are moving, I'm pretty pleased about that.
Okay, thank you. Next is public comments. State name.
Yep, Jim Graber. So last month at this meeting, I had mentioned the fact that the township, through the newsletters and other media, has really gone about promoting marijuana. How that can make people looking at it like, oh, it's fine, our township leaders are promoting it, it's all good. And then after that, the Oceana Echo came out with an article, Newfield Township 2003 year in review. In this article, 4 different times, either marijuana funds are mentioned or the marijuana growers are mentioned, all in a positive light. So again, we are making drugs sound like a good thing in this township. And you guys are doing this as leaders in the township. There's no mention in any of these articles about effects of drugs like marijuana and what it leads to, like domestic violence, suicides, overdoses. It's just positive stuff mentioned. And I realize drugs is used to dull guilty conscience frequently, but they do not help. It just leads to more problems. Forgiveness by God through Jesus Christ is the only thing that will help this community and take care of people's conscience. You need to repent, turn to Christ, get away from all this garbage. I know at the last meeting, Dennis, after I said that, Dennis, your husband stood up and stated that parents should just be able to just, tell your kids to just say no to drugs and alcohol, right? That should be good. That's how we did it back in the day. And so it's concerning to me. I'm still raising kids. I've got 3 teenagers in my home. So I'm in the middle of raising kids that age. I know you guys as a retired people, I think I don't know your kids, I don't know your family situation, but I think they've grown and gone and whatever. But, so I guess my question to you would be, with no like moral convictions on that stuff, does saying no to drugs and alcohol, does that help? Did it help, I guess? So I see a lot of train wrecks where, yeah, parents said no, but things spiral out of control. So, thank you.
Any other?
Yeah, I'm sure you recognize me. I've been here quite a bit about my zoning problem.
Okay, give us your name.
My name is Ruth. Last name is Beechar. I brought pictures from this week at my house. I don't know why I have to keep coming here. It's in our ordinances, zoning. Why I have to keep coming here. It's in our ordinances. If you want to see the pictures, I don't know why I don't get any response. I've made complaints. I've done what you've asked. I've filled out my forms. Why don't I get a response? What do I have to do? Here's my neighbor's pictures again. Brand new from this week. There's so much garbage, it's growing. He told me that he went over there and they said that they were going to put a barn on the property that they bought next door to him. Can you answer me that question? Did they not say that they were going to build a barn next to the property to put everything in? And that's been, what now, 2 years, going on 3 years. You all heard it. They were going to build a barn to put all their junk, per se, garbage. Where's the barn? I see the garbage. It's there in their front porch now, day in, day out. We live on a dead end. It's the first house going in that cul-de-sac, which is a dead end. First house going in.
Is the rest of this in, because I went down through the other day.
Of course you did.
Well, I did, because
Mhm.
I know what's coming.
You saw the garbage, didn't you, laying in your yard?
Yes, and I.
Been there 5,
wonder
6 years now.
The stuff that's behind, is it grown this winter?
Oh,
Because-
yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Mhm.
because I didn't see
One of my
this in the
neighbors,
fall.
not me, took their Christmas tree that was in their front yard, and when they were home, dragged it to their backyard. If we could only find some way to get rid of the rest of their garbage. It's growing. Their stuff blows into their side yard, which the barn should have been at.
Okay,
And it just lays there. They walk outside their porch and put their garbage on their front porch. Yes, we do. We live in an area of 300,000 to 400,000 plus up houses.
yes, you do.
And we drive past this first house. For how many years have I been coming here complaining about it? And nobody responds to me. What are we supposed to do? Am I not doing my due diligence?
I'm going to respond to you because I
Thank
have
you.
been watching this.
Thank you.
And
Somebody respond. I pay my tax
I
dollars.
wouldn't want this living next to my house.
Thank
either.
you. Thank you.
So,
Somebody,
I-
please help me.
we will. we're gonna look into this because this is unacceptable.
Thank you. Thank you. Somebody, thank you. Thank you. It's been about 6 years.
And I have been down through there, Bruce, so I have been
Thank you,
paying
man.
attention.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to me, finally.
Well, we're gonna do something.
It's disgusting to pull out of my house and then pull back home and look at this stuff.
And you're not the only one that's been complaining.
Every day, and I come here, and I don't come here a lot, but I come here every few years hoping for help, and I don't hear back
You're
from
gonna get it.
anybody.
Because this is unacceptable.
Anybody who's supposed to be doing their job, I get no response. And I do my due diligence by following the rules.
Okay,
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Sir, run and state your name.
Good evening, Gary McKean, Oceana County Planning Commission. I've been on the Planning Commission for the last 8 years for the county, and just February the 1st, I was elected to be the chairman, so I'm the poster child tonight. And I wanted to bring to your attention something that was emailed to you and you read already. But this is a program that we're working with MSU Extension. Mary Riley is an educator in government. You might know Mary, she's done some programs for townships, MTA, I believe. And we're sponsoring, the program will be for township officials, planning commission, zoning commission, anybody that wants to kind of get up to speed and understand what's going on with planning and zoning a little better. And that will be Thursday, May 16th, like you pointed out, at the County Services Building in Hart. It's free to all those that attend. We do ask if you do make reservations for Brittany Bostrom, who works in the administrator's office. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those now. But the first planning program that we're doing is May 18th, as you said. And then we're doing one in the fall. So we'll do defensible planning and zoning decision will be May program. And then there'll be one more specific to zoning in probably late September, early October. So trying to get planning and zoning kind of be part of the program. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Yeah, Mike Carter, Newfield resident, village Esprit president. This Saturday, we have an open house that everyone will be invited to. We got a $23 million grant for our water system. And so 1 to 2, we're going through, the engineers and everybody will be there explaining what it is. So everyone's invited, even if you're not resident, come and see what we have. Thank you.
It's been interesting.
It's, this Saturday from 1 to 2.
So maybe the bottom
Yeah. When they're done, they're putting filtration plants and everything
Where is it at?
at the village hall.
Okay.
It's been interesting going to the meetings. I've been trying to hit the village meetings once a month and watching from the very beginning, Mike and his cohorts down there at the village and what they've been doing, working with this company from the grant process right up through to now they're getting down to the nitty gritty, putting in a new well and everything. So, I take my hat off to you. I think you guys have done a great job for the village.
Long process, a 2-year process just to get here to where we're at. We're at 60% of the bid. And that they'll have, the bid package should go out, I believe, the end of April. They'll be back in by the end of August, and September they'll be awarded.
Good.
25 will be the hotel in Victoria.
That's good, in a good way.
Yeah.
Any other public comments?
I got one. That's Ridge Road, and my comment to that, just say no, I don't smoke marijuana. I could go get it anytime I want. I could go to the bar and drink, tell them silly. I could go buy alcohol at the store. I don't. I could. But my sister-in-law died of cancer when she was 48. And she was prescribed marijuana, and she was so embarrassed to smoke it because at that time it was illegal. It wasn't legal for the state, but the doctor gave her permission to do it and helped her deal with her pain for so bad. So that's the type of marijuana that we gotta think about. And then I want to thank the board for approving the road out there in Buchanan, that road would never get done without this extra money. 'Cause that's what it's all about. And I'm sure my dad will appreciate it. Won't have to get a front end line every month.
Any other public comments? Okay, is there any board discussion?
I have one thing, the 9-day vote that we did, the early vote, Oceana County, townships went together and did the 9-day early vote at Hart, at the county building. It was manned 4 people each day from the different areas in the town, in the county. But there was an interesting fact came out from MTA this last week that I received. It's interesting that, yes, that was 9-day vote was voted on the ballot by the registered voters in Michigan. 60% of the registered voters voted to do it. And you know what it entailed to do. But only 0.09% people used it. So in Oceana County, all 16 townships voted, were able to vote and vote early. Oceana County had 200 voters that used that. That was it. So, and maybe in some areas it is a good thing, where maybe more residents, highly more populated, but for the small areas, if we would have 16 townships each run their own for 9 days with 4 people each day and all the new equipment you had to buy, we actually save the government because it's a funded, federal funded, they pay for the election and pay back. So we actually save them money, but sometimes what sounds good to the voters, they don't always understand. We don't always understand. And sometimes things get slipped in. The difficulties and the cost of some of the decisions we make. And it happens, you could try it. But 200 people out of the whole county took advantage of that, and that was it, for all the costs. And it was 4 people each day at $20 an hour, and they were there 9 hours. So, each. So.
I was there the very first day because I said I would.
Right.
And we had a total of 17 people in that 9-hour shift.
Yeah.
And there was only not very many from our area, maybe 4
Right.
from our whole area.
And then they had to go back, Elbridge Township settled their election the night of the election. And then they left their election site and went to the county and had to total out those 9 days that night there. I don't know what time they got done. I know Stephanie was pretty wore out because she had been there every day and she was the coordinator from Elbridge. So we're contracted to do August and November the same way. We're under contract for the year. So, I just wanted to let you know that I was disappointed in the turnout, but that's just, I just assumed it was because of the support in the election to make it happen, that we would have more support. That's it.
Also, we had talked last month about, for our master plan, the company wanted us to purchase the GIS layering system. I did some checking around. Did you get an email about that, Steve? Maybe Michael got it. Anyways, I found somebody that has that system already, so they are sharing it with us at no cost. So we will have that.
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah, I was shocked. But, so that's all taken care of. And, is there any other board discussion?
Yeah, I got one on Dennis. I think last month you was gonna check for, gravel for the cemeteries.
Yeah, my mail's supposed to come out.
Is he?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Joan talked to Mike, said he came up with a lot.
You might need to be reminded.
I'll remind him tomorrow, because he's got some work for me to do.
Okay.
know, if we wanna do all the roads or.
I know some of them are pretty deep.
They're bad.
I-
They've never been done before. That's why they're so,
Rick will remind me.
yeah.
Okay.
I see you want it.
And I guess my supervisor's reports, most of the stuff I was gonna say, we've dealt with today, but the other thing is, as far as Bruce's, comment, normally we don't answer during public
I'm
comments,
sorry.
and Nancy's not here. No, but as of April 5th, we can start taking people to court now. And that family is already aware that they're at the top of the list. Our zoning administrator has a list, and as soon as that old clock ticks to April 5th, then,
Thank you.
then,
The process.
because it's unnecessary. I mean, everybody, it's your property, but still, that's why,
We have zoning ordinance.
that's why there's zoning ordinances. You don't want to get to the point where you have unwanted animals and whatnot coming in also, so April 5th is the date that things will start. And then apologize that you've had to wait so long for it to come to this, but at least we finally got to where we need to be.
I know,
So
but
we can go forward.
The thing is, I don't understand why it took so many years without a
Well-
response, without any hearing,
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
not even a response from.
And that is one thing that I think we should have a policy on, is getting back with the original person. Because,
I'm just.
because currently we don't have that. We don't have
Makes me-
this is,
People who call me